Apparently, broken bones in the neck, but one in particular, the hyoid bone near the Adam's apple, which is more common in strangulation murders than suicidal hangings. Which is more common in strangulation murders than suicidal hangings.
Jeffrey Epstein may be dead, but this story isn't. A shocking new report from the New York Times sheds light on the connection between Microsoft founder Bill Gates and the late Jeffrey Epstein. After Gates' name came up in connection with Epstein and MIT Media Lab, Gates gave a statement to the Wall Street Journal where he insisted he did not have any business relationship or friendship with Epstein. But new reporting from the New York Times outlines numerous meetings between Gates and Epstein and a conversation with Bill and Melinda Gates' foundation, a connection between their foundation and J.P. Morgan to set up a charitable fund that would financially benefit Epstein. Let's start with this. Gates says, no relationship, nada, nothing. You report these two men met at least 6 times. What does Gates say about that?
Well, I believe that there were more, and he and his spokespeople would not say how many in total they actually met. But this included visits to the mansion, seeing each other in Seattle, flying on Epstein's plane, when we all know Bill Gates has his own $40 million plane. And then, as an investigative reporter, why would Gates say, oh, I had no relationship with him, when, of course, he knows what the facts are? So that always sets off red flags for me.
He also has one of the largest, most established foundations on his own. Yes. Why would they ever set up a charitable trust benefiting Jeffrey Epstein?
Well,
what's the explanation?
Not only does he have the world's largest charitable foundation, but one of their primary missions is to help young women in underprivileged countries. Jeffrey Epstein was preying on young women from Eastern Europe, from South Africa, luring them into his web. And it's the antithesis of what the Gates Foundation stands for. And by the way, there were Gates Foundation employees who were horrified when they realized what Jeffrey Epstein had done and was saying, we don't want to have anything to do with this, and yet the project went on.
And what is the Gates explanation for this?
That it was all about philanthropy, that Bill Gates just wanted to find new sources of money.
But when you went and met with Jeffrey Epstein a year and a half ago, I read your piece, you knew straight out of the gate something didn't add up. It smelled foul. Bill Gates didn't notice that? One of the smartest guys in the world.
I mean, he's a registered sex offender, and after I rang the doorbell, it opens, and there is a beautiful young woman standing there who I didn't think was 16, but she could have been, 19 or something, and I thought, whoa, a sex offender has a beautiful young woman opening the door. So I didn't even have to go through the door before I realized there's something really weird going on here.
Come on in, go inside.
An invitation into Donald Trump's world. Footage from 1992 found in the NBC archives shows the future president welcoming Jeffrey Epstein to his Mar-a-Lago estate. The get-together more than a decade before Epstein pleaded guilty to prostitution charges in Florida. Both men are seen enjoying themselves, Trump pointing out women dancing in front of them. An apparently friendly encounter with a man the president is now looking to distance himself from.
Well, I knew him like everybody in Palm Beach knew him.
My voice was muted by the same government that was supposed to protect me.
My voice was muted by the same government that was supposed to protect me.
From the air, opulence is on display. 2 pools, perfectly manicured beaches lined with palm trees, surrounded by turquoise waters. Tourists snorkel here daily to check out the turtles near the now infamous island. Epstein used to fly out here, we're told, on his private chopper after flying into St. Thomas on his private jet.
Doing well. How are you?
I'm Stephanie Goss with NBC.
It's not easy to get to. We had to hire a boat captain.
When you moved here to St. Thomas 4 years ago, how long did it take before people started talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
It was immediate. It was the first day I ever took this boat out. I had a training captain that I went out with, and that was just part of the tour.
Boats can float right up to the edge of the island estate.
Can I just talk to you for a second?
Epstein's grounds workers are still on the job.
Do you have a second to talk?
But the ones we approached were not willing to talk.
He convinced
Stephen Scully knows the property well. He worked there for 6 years.
When you first met Jeffrey Epstein, what were your impressions of him?
Real smart guy. Unbelievably focused.
Scully says he was told not to talk about what happened on the island.
When you say you saw young girls, were they under 18, do you think?
I have no way of knowing that, truly, but they appeared to be young to me.
Scully also told us there were photos of topless girls in buildings around the compound, and says he quit his job after a conversation with one of Epstein's employees from Palm Beach.
He said, "What's with the young girls?" And I said, "Oh, yeah. I'm not real comfortable with the young girls thing, too. Is that in West Palm Beach as well?" He said, "Worse."
Did you consider in that moment perhaps reaching out to law enforcement?
No.
When you look back on it now, do you wish that you had?
Yeah.
Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution in Florida in 2008 as part of a controversial deal. In a civil case against the government about that deal, one accuser says she took part in an orgy on Epstein's private island in 2002 with approximately 8 other young girls who appeared to be under the age of 18. According to government, today he sits in a jail cell, denied bail after pleading not guilty to sex trafficking charges. Some locals we spoke with say that's where he should be.
Were people surprised out here when they heard about his arrest in New York?
I don't know if surprised would be the right word. Maybe happy that it finally happened.
Residents also tell us Epstein was looking to expand his estate on Great St. James, the island he bought in 2016.
Beaches in the Virgin Island are public property, but Jeffrey Epstein has made it very clear that the rest of this island is not. He has been doing construction on Great St. James up until very, very recently. We're told that this white shed was built only a few months ago.
The work being done right up until his arrest, bringing new attention to this tropical hideaway and raising new questions about what may have happened here.
We might not learn the truth of what happened inside Manhattan's Metropolitan Correctional Center until the investigations are over. That hasn't stopped the speculation and anger swirling. That such a high-profile inmate as Jeffrey Epstein was able to apparently take his own life weeks after attempting suicide has raised questions about how he was being monitored.
Surveillance video recorded inside the Metropolitan Correctional Center during Jeffrey Epstein's first reported suicide attempt is missing. That Tartaglione's attorney wants the surveillance video because his client says he saved Epstein's life after finding him unconscious on July 23rd. Tartaglione's attorney told CNBC in an email, "Obviously, if it was destroyed or lost, that is disturbing. We are waiting on an explanation before deciding how to proceed." Epstein was found dead in his jail cell 2 weeks later on August 10th. He was
showing broken bones in his neck, raising more questions about his final cause of death.
Broken bones in the neck, but one in particular, the hyoid bone near the Adam's apple, which is more common in strangulation murders than suicidal hangings, it is written in this morning.
Which is more common in strangulation murders than suicidal hangings, it is written in this morning's papers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.